child embodies our ultimate vision that every Filipino learner will realize their full potential and ultimately reach their biggest dreams, no matter how high, no matter how hard, through quality education. And as our learners aim to soar, we must continue to elevate our goals. Rising, the kite is our emblem of aspiration to deliver the brand of quality in Philippine basic education. The quadrants of the soaring kite symbolize the key reform areas in forwarding this cause as we embark on this aggressive reform to yield upskilled teachers, well-developed curriculum, improved learning environment, and responsive
Well, hello, Mrs. Morgan. Remember how hard it was to get your students' attention? Oh, Mr. Jeski, any explosive ideas? And you, Mr. Fisher, the world keeps turning, right? Okay, we're past all that, because now we have Microsoft Educator Center. Trainings, courses, webinars, programs, badges, points, certificates. Join now and get yourself ready for the new school year. Teach your best.
Nang sumiklab ang giyera sa Marawi, maraming buhay at kabuhayan ang nawala. Maraming kabahayan at paaralan ang napinsala. Sa kabila ng matinding suliranin, naging matagumpay ang DepEd na mabigyan ang mga mag-aaral ng pagkakataong ipagpatuloy ang edukasyon at muling bumangon sa sitwasyon. Habang naghihintay sa pagkumpuni at pagsasaayos ng mga paaralan, nagkaloob ang DepEd ng mga temporary learning shelters, remedial classes, learning kits, at feeding programs para sa mga displaced learners. Nabigla ang lahat sa pag-alboruto ng Bulkang Taal. Libo-libong pamilya, kabilang ang mga guro at mag-aaral, ang nawalan ng tirahan at mga ari-arian. Mabilis ang naging tugon ng DepEd upang makapagpatuloy sa pag-aaral ang mga apektadong mag-aaral. Sinikap ng mga guro na turuan ang mga mag-aaral na pansamantalang tumuloy sa evacuation center. Tumama sa bansa ang COVID-19 pandemic, dahilan upang maantala ang normal na daloy ng pamumuhay at trabaho sa lahat ng sektor, kabilang na ang kagawaran ng edukasyon. Nang ipatupad ang Luzon lockdown, inilunsad ang DepEd Commons upang tuloy ang pagkatuto ng mga learners habang nasa bahay. Sa kabila ng mabigat na hamon sa ilalim ng new normal, patuloy na nagpunyagi ang DepEd upang maghanap at maghatid ng mga alternatibong pamamaraan upang magpatuloy ang edukasyon sa pinakaligtas at pinakaangkop na paraan. Sa ilalim ng Learning Continuity Plan, layunin ng DepEd na magpatuloy ang edukasyon nang hindi nakokompromiso ang kapakanan at kalusugan ng mga guro at mag-aaral. Isusulong ng DepEd ang tatlong pangunahing layunin: angkop na proteksyon, kaugnay ng mga health standards at safety protocols para sa ligtas na school year. Patuloy na edukasyon sa pamamagitan ng blended learning, distance learning at homeschooling na angkop sa kapasidad ng bawat mag-aaral at mabisang aksyon sa pakikipagtulungan sa lokal na pamahalaan at mga partner organizations upang maihatid ang dekalidad na edukasyon para sa lahat. Bawat DepEd Division ay bumuo rin ng sarili nilang learning continuity plan upang gabayan ang mga guro, mga magulang at mga mag-aaral sa bagong pamamaraan ng pag-aaral gamit ang online, modular at TV and radio-based instructions. Gamit ang iba't ibang learning modalities, nagdaos ng dry run ang mga paaralan sa iba't ibang bahagi ng bansa, katuwang ang mga local government units at mga education partners upang maging handa sa bagong sistema ng edukasyon. Isinagawa rin ang mga pagsasanay at oryentasyon sa mga magulang upang maging epektibong katuwang sa pag-aaral ng kanilang mga anak. Sa anumang hamon o sitwasyon, handa ang DepEd. Handang kumilos, handang tumugon, at handang magserbisyo.
Ang dami ng mga pagsusubok at challenges ang naharap at napagtagumpayan ng ating Department of Education. Tuwing may pagsusubok, priority palagi natin ang ating learners at ang ating mga teachers sa tulong ng parents at saka partners at ang buong bansa. Ngayon, sa hinaharap natin itong new normal na sinasabi nila, matatag ang ating kagawaran, matatag ang DepEd, dahil pinagtibay na tayo ng panahon, kayang-kaya natin ito sa tulong ninyo.
G'day everyone, I'm Mark. As a teacher and a former principal, I know that professional learning often comes at the end of a very long day. But there are exciting, less structured ways to be in the driver's seat of your own lifelong learning. A great place to start is by engaging with our Microsoft Innovative Educator, or MIE community. This global community is big, in fact it's enormous. Our MIEs love connecting. Monthly tweet meets are global gatherings of inspiring educators around big topics, and their Facebook group acts as a persistent home for discussions and shared activities. Another way teachers are learning within communities is through Microsoft Teams. Now, greater teacher collaboration improves teaching across schools, and Teams is the ultimate platform for a professional learning community. It's open-walled and socially embedded, so you can incorporate your OneNote Staff Notebook PLC and have access to all the goodness of video chat, phone, and collaboration tools. With Immersive Reader built in, it's inclusive and accessible on any device. Your learning community is just a click away. Last tip, our Microsoft Education Centre offers great ways to gain new skills with courses tailored uniquely to your needs. Make it a collaborative experience by picking a MEC course to do together with your peers. And as a bonus, you can practice collaborative learning by exploring a research paper, like the Class of 2030, and treat it just like a book club with your colleagues face-to-face or in Teams. The link to that research, it's in the description. Remember, learning is socially embedded. It's best done together for students and for teachers. Happy learning.
The year 2020 brought new beginnings for the Department of Education. Ready to pivot towards attaining quality education, DepEd was hopeful of the challenges ahead of it. But as DepEd continued to work on its commitment, the world suddenly faced a steeper dilemma. Around the globe, countries like the Philippines had to shift their priorities to respond to a public health crisis brought by COVID-19. Schools had to be closed, activities had to be halted, graduation ceremonies had to be canceled, as people were urged to stay at home. A new normal dawned upon us. As soon as DepEd realized the impact of these disruptions in education, it began to proactively craft its learning continuity plan last April to ensure that learning opportunities will still be available. Consulting with partners and advisors through the Education Forum, as well as legislators, teachers, parents, learners, and the general public, DepEd made sure its LCP encompasses the concerns of the whole education sector in responding to the crisis. Its topmost priority being the protection of the health, safety, and well-being of learners, teachers, and personnel. To make informed decisions, DepEd first analyzed relevant data and epidemiological picture for the incoming school year. DepEd also issued guidelines on its required health standards to be adopted in all public and private schools and DepEd offices following DOH and IATF protocols. It covers 4 COVID-19 mitigation objectives, namely, to increase physical and mental resilience, reduce transmission, reduce contact, and reduce duration of infection. The LCP also outlined how learning continuity will be ensured. It streamlines the K-12 curriculum into the most essential learning competencies and allows the use of distance learning, homeschooling, and blended learning modalities. Since conducting face-to-face classes will be a risk in most areas, DepEd has anchored its delivery of education to modular, online, TV and radio, or a combination of all. Guided by teachers, modular learning will allow learners to use self-learning modules in a format applicable to learners' capacity. In online distance learning, teachers will facilitate and engage learners' participation through the internet, whether synchronous or asynchronous. TV and radio-based instructions, on the other hand, are converted lessons fit for the broadcast medium. The LCP assures that all our learners, including our SPED, ALS, Madrasa students, can still access education even within the confines of their homes, and ensures that their household capacity will not hinder their right to education. To make this possible, our joint Brigada Eskwela and Oplan Balik Eskwela is assisting the preparations for the rollout of the LCP. On May 8, the LCP was approved by the IATF. The President also gave it his full support and expressed his commitment to meeting the financial demands of its execution. The implementation of the LCP will not be easy. It is not a perfect plan, and complications can be expected along the way. But extraordinary times call for extraordinary and proactive measures, and the Department of Education is ready to address the challenges along the way with the help of our national and local government, partners, parents, and learners. As one nation, learning opportunities shall be available in this brave new world for our Filipino children.
When you need the focus to be on you and not whatever that guy's doing, open Teams.
Total na wasak na naman namin ang lahat ng ari-arian nyo!
Sa totoong buhay, totoo ang pinsala ng giyera. Mula noon hanggang ngayon. Para limitahan ang kalupitan ng giyera, nagkaisa ang mga bansa 70 taon na ang nakalipas upang itaguyod ang Geneva Conventions. Ang Geneva Conventions ay kinikilala ng buong mundo bilang bahagi ng international humanitarian law na nagtatakda ng mga patakaran ng giyera o the rules of war. Ayon dito, huwag gawing target ang mga sibilyan at kanilang mga ari-arian. Tratuhin sa makataong paraan ang mga nabilanggo at protektahan ng mga doktor, nurse at mga ospital para paglingkuran ang mga sugatan at may sakit saan man panig sila nagmula. Alamin ang Geneva Conventions. Bisitahin ang www.therulesofwar.org.
Hi guys! So I just came from a meeting and I was just told that I would be leading this fundraising concert for International Students Day. And I have to present the plan to the school board next week. Okay, I'm going to need some help. Let me create a team space and invite my dream team. Sia, she knows all about the budgeting and stuff. Ivan, he knows all the kids from the performing arts group. Aisha, she worked on getting sponsorship last year. And Sam, because he's so cute. Let me lay out all tasks in Planner and kick things off. So, I'm almost done with my event concept and inspiration board. I just need Ivan to do some final tweaks and plug in the repertoire. Budget from Sia? Check. Sponsorship plan? Check. Done! Whew! When you start using Microsoft Teams, teamwork really does become easier. So now I'm heading over to present the plan to the school board. Wish me luck!
De Luna,
Present!
Herrera,
Present!
Valera,
Present!
Handa ba tayo sa school year 2020?
Present!
Ngayong taon, ang edukasyon tuloy pa rin. Sa tulong ng DepEd, mga guro at mga magulang, ang handang isip, handa bukas. Tuloy-tuloy ang pag-aaral. May mga modules para sa iba't ibang antas. Sa government TV, maging sa radyo. Mahalagang ligtas ang ating mga estudyante at guro. Kaya kahit nasa bahay, tuloy ang edukasyon. Kung tulong-tulong, may paraan, may aralan.
Handang isip, handa bukas.
Bisitahin ang DepEd Philippines sa Facebook at ang deped.gov.ph.
If you spend more time tracking down files than actually working on them, open Teams.
The COVID-19 pandemic has brought unprecedented changes to our usual ways of living. But the Department of Education remains unfazed by these challenges to fulfill the mission of Sulong Edukalidad, the rallying call for national effort to deliver quality basic education to all Filipinos, which involve aggressive reforms in the 4 key areas: the K-12 curriculum review and update, improving the learning environment, teachers upskilling and reskilling, and engagement of stakeholders for support and collaboration to move forward together as we prepare the education system for the future. The call for Sulong Edukalidad will continue, and we have built the framework of the Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan or the BELCP to put the needs of the learners at top priority. DepEd's BELCP is the major response and commitment to protect the health, safety, and well-being of learners, teachers, and personnel. The plan aims to provide opportunities to continue education even in these trying times with a BELCP in place, supported by an unprecedented number of diverse stakeholders from the academe, media, industry groups, NGOs, business and private individuals. Sulong Educalidad will be able to sustain the aims in its reform for quality basic education. In our journey towards quality education, we have established the 4 pillars of aggressive reforms from the start, and we have been continuing to progress in these pillars. In improving the learning environment, we took action in the construction and rehabilitation of school buildings, ensured the availability of learning materials and equipment, and prioritized our last mile schools. The challenges of the pandemic also brought to light the urgent need to upgrade our ICT infrastructure to service the needs of education. In terms of the teachers' upskilling and reskilling, we were able to establish more innovative professional standards for teachers and school heads. We have aligned the professional development of teachers with their career progression to track their development as part of the National Educators Academy of the Philippines transformation. With the launch of the Education Futures program, where we will be focusing on innovative actions and solutions to improve the state of our education, we are now more than ready to start a new journey and continue our fight for quality education for all Filipino learners. Finally, we've given high importance to the engagement of stakeholders for support and collaboration. In support of this, we have convened the Philippine Forum for Accessible Quality Basic Education, or the Education Forum, which will leverage other partnerships for education quality and strengthen partnership with the Philippine Normal University as the country's National Center for Teacher Education. The department has also been developing a professional development program for teachers and school leaders in order to equip them with the skills, materials, and data that will allow them to help their students prepare for PISA 2022. This intervention consists of the following components: online training for teachers and school leaders, development of learning materials and practice tests for students, deepening the analysis of the PISA 2018 results, and supporting school-level action research. Now that the year is about to end, our commitment to Sulong Educalidad will continue and will be far from being gone. With a lot at stake, considering our new knowledge and experience from this year's challenges, we are equipped to face a new future. As we head on to the future where we will face many challenges and uncertainties, the department will always be the guardian of every Filipino learner's right to education.
Sino ba ang hindi naapektuhan? Sino ba ang hindi nag-alala? Sino ba ang hindi nalito? Lahat tayo ay naapektuhan. Lahat tayo ay nag-aalala. Lahat tayo ay nalito. Dahil binago ng pandemyang dulot ng COVID-19 ang paraan ng pamumuhay ng lahat ng mga Pilipino saan mang sektor ka nabibilang. Tumigil ang panandalian ang ating mga nakagawian. Tumigil ang lahat ng uri ng transaksyon. Tumigil ang lahat ng operasyon ng mga paaralan. Nakalilito. Nakakaba. Paano na ang kinabukasan ng mga kabataan? Paano na tayo sa hinaharap? Opisyal na nilulunsad ng Kagawaran ng Edukasyon sa pangunguna ng Office of the Undersecretary for Curriculum and Instruction ang DepEd Teaches. Ito ay isang online na programa na gagabay sa mga guro, tagapangasiwa, magulang at mag-aaral hinggil sa mga pagbabago sa batayang edukasyon ngayong new normal. Ang DepEd Teaches ay angkla sa sulong edukalidad na nakatuon sa 4 na pangunahing pangangailangan ng mapunyaging reforma tungo sa makalidad na pagtuturo at pagkatuto. Una, pagre-review at pagsasapanahon ng kurikulum ng K-12. Ikalawa, pagpapaunlad ng kapaligirang pampagkatuto. Ikatlo, paglinang ng mga bagong kasanayan sa mga guro. At ang ikaapat, ang pakikipag-ugnay sa mga stakeholder para sa suporta at kolaborasyon. Sa pamamagitan ng virtual learning platform, ang DepEd Teaches ang magsisilbing bukas na komunidad ng pagsasanay na titipon sa mga guro, tagapamunong pang-edukasyon at sa sinumang may pagnanais sa pagtataguyod ng kalidad na edukasyon sa bansa at sa pagtagumpay ng bawat Pilipinong mag-aaral. Ang mga opisyal, education specialist, learning content expert at outstanding teacher ng DepEd ang magiging tagapanayam na magbabahagi ng kanilang kaalaman at kasanayan sa kurikulum, pagtuturo at pagkatuto, pagtataya at lahat ng kaugnay na mahalaga sa proseso ng pagtuturo at pagkatuto sa new normal. Bilang mga frontliner ng classroom, inaasahang magiging aktibo ang mga guro sa programang ito. Ang mga tema at paksa ay angkop sa kanilang pangangailangan at konteksto sa pamamagitan ng accessible na platform, ang social media. Sumali na sa OUCI family sa DepEd Teaches kung sama-sama mapahuhusay pa ang mga guro, kung sama-sama higit na malilinang natin ang mga mag-aaral.
Be like an afternoon sun, and let everyone who sees you feel inspired by all the great things you do. A pleasant afternoon to everyone, and we are thrilled to see you again, our avid viewers, here on DepEd Teaches, being live streamed at FB pages of DepEd Philippines, DepEd Tayo, and in our YouTube channel. To all our moms, mommy, mama, nanay, or inay out there, and to my very own mom, it's not too late to send my warm greetings of Happy Mother's Day. And we are very much and deeply indebted to you. You are the first teachers at home, our dear parents, our partners in educating the children. And we honestly believe that at the end of the day, the most overwhelming key to a child's success is the positive involvement of parents. Hello, Ma'am Anna. Happy Mother's Day to your mom.
Thank you, Sir July. Happy Mother's Day to all. And I agree that every parent is a teacher. You know, working together means success. And so parents need to have a good relationship with the school so they can help bring out what the teacher feels the child is able to do. And so we are truly grateful that our Filipino parents have been very supportive and collaborative to help us get to with this unprecedented changes in the way we deliver instruction. Because without their participation, I doubt if we can pull off such transformation in the way we teach in this new normal.
And in a recent celebration of Mother's Day, Ma'am Anna, this is relevant to our episode today, strengthening parental involvement in the educative process under the new theme, community linkages, and teacher development that will run from episode 19 to episode 22. So for this theme, we will go beyond the four corners of the classroom and we will try to consider the other stakeholders who play major roles in academic success of our learners. And I think it's high time that we strengthen our relationship, especially nowadays that we teachers have minimal or no direct contact with our learners due to this pandemic. So the best person we can rely on are the parents themselves to ensure quality learning happens even at home.
That is correct, Sir July. But given that we are in this modern age when the primary mode of communication is done mostly online or on screen, I think forming a new relationship or strengthening a relationship may be a bit harder because conversations become texting and feelings become Facebook status and tweets. I just remember in Takman's model, there is a storming phase in the initial stage of organizing a group where team members they begin to communicate their feelings, but still view themselves as individuals rather than being part of the team. So in storming phase, we can sense some sort of detachment, despite the fact that members should be working together. And this is the kind of challenge that is somewhat similar to what we experience, especially every start of the school year, when it's our first time to meet our new parents, and it may take some time and effort on our part to make them feel that we are partners in educating their children to earn their trust. But remember, teachers can't be just held solely accountable. They cannot do this Herculean task just by themselves. What teachers needed the most is the positive collaborative relationship between school and parents that you just pointed out, Sir July.
That's correct, Ma'am Ana. I couldn't agree more. And this is our goal in today's episode. We will discover on how we can strengthen parental involvement in the learning process. So let us do some quick survey to our viewers right now and try to find out the level of family-school engagement. So we will be presenting 4 questions or 4 items. Our viewers just need to choose the letter of their choice based on their experiences and belief. By the way, don't worry, there's no right or wrong answer here, and we will be giving 20 seconds for each question. Okay, so let us start. Let us show them our first item or first question. Okay. The question goes like this. The school and family communications tend to focus mostly on blank. A, student problem and misbehavior. B, general news about the class. C, progress in specific learning area. Or D, overall student progress.
All right. So now let's move to the second question. Okay. So I hope our dear viewers join us in this quick survey. There's no right or wrong answer. Just choose the letter that best corresponds to your experience and belief. So for the second question, families are involved in planning how they would like to be involved in school. Based on your experience and belief, is it A, I am already doing this? B, I could do this easily? C, this will take time? Or D, this will be hard? Again, families are involved in planning how they would like to be involved in school. A, B, C, or D? I see mostly B in the comment section, but there's also a combination of other letters in the answer for number 2. Okay, for the next question.
Okay, so for the next question, I adjust my schedule so that I can meet or contact parents at a time that is convenient for them. So if you are an advisor or a teacher, you may answer this based on your experience and belief. Again, I adjust my schedule so that I can meet and contact parents at a time that is convenient for them. A, always. B, sometimes. Or C, never. So again, we're giving 20 seconds for our viewers to answer this. Okay, I'm seeing answer mostly are A or B. Ma'am Ana?
All right, okay. Sounds great. So for the last question or the last statement, the working relationships I have with most of my children's parents are satisfactory. Okay? So the working relationships I have with most of my children's parents are satisfactory. Is it A, strongly agree, B, agree, C, disagree, or D, strongly disagree? All right, so I'm seeing a lot of A and B, which is good, very positive. So thank you for sharing your answer with us. So while listening to our discussion today, feel free to share your insights in the comment section. Okay, so at this point, to learn specific ways and techniques on how we can improve parent-teacher collaboration, let's meet our resource speaker. Dr. Marilyn Siao, armed with strong determination to succeed, is an accomplished educator. She is a graduate of Bachelor in Elementary Education and she holds a Doctor of Philosophy in Educational Management. Because of hard work, she rose from the ranks, started being a classroom teacher, head teacher, and was given a principal item after passing the aptitude test with a rating of 99 plus. She was entrusted then to manage a central school and later on designated as a division multi-grade and scholarship coordinator in Leyte Division. Her outstanding achievements propelled her to the position of Education Program Supervisor in the same school's division office. Her awards include Outstanding School Head for 4 years. Her educational attainment is also backed up by scholarships in Asian Institute of Management, DepEd Excels, and Superintendent Leadership Program.
In 2014, she was designated as OIC Assistant Schools Division Superintendent of Baybay City. Then after 3 years, she was transferred to Leyte Division, the biggest schools division in DepEd Region 8. She passed the Career Executive Service Board and was conferred CESO Rank 6. She was a member of a National Technical Working Group on the review of the career pathing system of teachers and school heads, a member of the National Working Group on crafting the Philippine Professional Standards for supervisors, and a member of the National Review Team of the Philippine Professional Standards for school heads. She is also a national speaker of the National Standards for School Heads and Supervisors. In 2019, President Rodrigo Duterte conferred on her well-deserved emblem as a full-fledged Assistant Schools Division Superintendent. Then 4 months after, she was designated as OIC Schools Division Superintendent in DepEd Catbalogan City. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the OIC-SDS of DepEd Catbalogan City, Dr. Marilyn B. Siao.
An amazing Wednesday afternoon to all our avid viewers and participants of DepEd Teaches. Welcome to episode 19, Building a Strong School and Parents Partnership Relevant to Distance Learning Modality. For today's episode, it addresses the competencies required in Domain 6, community linkage and professional engagement, particularly Strand 6.2 of the PPST, and at the same time, Domain 5, building connections, Strand 5.5 of the PPSSH. So this would serve as a technical assistance intervention for teachers, school heads, key officials, parents, and other stakeholders. So join me in this 30-minute learning journey. According to a recent United Nations report, the COVID-19 pandemic has created the largest disruption of education systems in history, affecting nearly 1.6 billion learners in more than 190 countries all over the continents. In response to the acute learning crisis generated by the COVID-19 outbreak, President Duterte ensured the safety of all with no face-to-face classes until vaccines are available. Let it be emphasized, however, that under the leadership of Secretary Leonor Magtulis Briones, the Department of Education's commitment to ensure education continuity amid health crises and challenges is very strong. It is my pleasure to share the life learning experiences of Catbalogan City Division Region 8 on building a strong school and parent partnership relevant to distance learning modality, while putting premium on safeguarding everyone from the dangers of COVID-19 pandemic. DepEd Catbalogan City Division's Bible in responding to the unique challenges of the pandemic is its emergency roadmap or learning continuity plan operationalized through Edu Catbalogan Bayanihans. After the tedious environmental scanning of the new normal context of Catbalogan City and determining our collective capacity with our stakeholders, we finalized the right blend of distance learning modalities, all supportive to the strategic direction of the President, the Secretary, and the Regional Director. Modular distance learning, both printed and offline, is our main modality, supplemented by radio-based instruction, television-based instruction, offline video blogging, and other modalities, including online distance learning. With the learners in their respective homes, parents and other family members are the crucial link between the learners and the schools. This first ever experience education setup in the place calls for the importance of a healthy and strong partnership between the home, schools, and supported by the community. Full of optimism, strong partnership with parents who have custody of the learners is therefore the bridge to effectively realize the delivery of the distance learning modality. And we are hopeful that we can do this because research shows that regardless of family income or background, students whose parents are involved in their schooling are more likely to perform well in school. The school parents partnership context that I will present elaborates the live new normal education experiences in distance learning delivery in Catbalogan City Division, anchored on the framework developed by the Ministry of Education Singapore. This guides the parents, schools, and the community in their collaborative and complementary efforts to reach a common understanding of the goals and outcomes that we want to achieve for the learners. The homeschool community scaffold is in consonance with the Access Framework, a child and a community centered framework which anchored the conceptual gist of the school based management in the Department of Education. This ensures that a child's education is supported at home and extends beyond the school into the community. The framework manifests that the child is at the center, being nurtured by the home, school, and community, observing the five principles, cohesively and seamlessly connected by the three core values of purposeful partnership, collaborative culture, and sustainable outcomes. The five principles to guide partners in working together to build strong partnerships are obviously connected by TRUST, as in trust is the foundation, remember the child, understand our shared responsibilities, seek common ground, and together we work towards common goals. The first principle, trust is the foundation. Trust between and among the home where the parents are, the school, and the community where both home and school are in is the main focus. According to the Center for Creative Leadership, for trust to flourish, the three dimensions are to be considered: ability, integrity, and loyalty. In the case of Catbalogan City Division and its schools, trust of the parents and the communities it serves is obviously attained because of its performance. Having won the title Regional Outstanding Schools Division Office, the regional best practice in technical assistance, and the numerous accolades acquired by its performing school leaders, teachers, and learners all the way gained the trust of the parents and stakeholders. On the other hand, parents who strongly support their children in school gain the trust from teachers, school, and community officials. With trust as the foundation, we have high hopes that we foster the best distance learning modality that we can afford for our learners amid the challenges of the pandemic. Catbalogan City Division's unique operationalization of its blended distance learning modalities, employing Edu-Catbalogan Bayanihans, is a concrete evidence of the first principle, with trust as the foundation of the strong partnership. The printed modular distance learning is made possible for the 30,097 learners through the combined capacity of the BELCP funds, the school MOOE, and the special education funds, with the heavy-duty printers donated by the city government of Catbalogan. Somehow, the small percentage of learners with ICT gadgets who opted for soft copies of modules, complemented by the tablets donated by the city government and the USBs procured, made offline modular distance modality possible. On the other hand, radio-based instruction is responsive in complementing the printed and offline modules because we have a cozy SDO Catbalogan recording and editing studio with complete facilities funded by the city government. Impressive are the two local radio stations backing us up all the way in black time, from 7 o'clock in the morning up to 9 o'clock in the evening, from Mondays to Sundays. Thus, all grade levels in all the learning areas, including alternative learning system and special curricular programs, are equally served. Efforts of maximizing the two local partner radio stations were made through the Radio Hakada Panimalay program, which generated donations of radio units from benevolent partners and were given away to those less fortunate learners throughout the city. The television-based instruction, where this division forged MOA with two local cable TV stations with a commitment to air our video lessons 6 hours every day from Mondays to Sundays, spread all over kindergarten to grade 12, both formal and alternative learning system for lessons that need visualization. The DepEd procured tablets and those donated by the city government are maximally used for this purpose, with lesson episodes automatically loaded in the units prior to distribution. Video lessons in the USBs are also distributed to learners with no laptops and television units at home, including learners in special education classes through offline modality, thus ensuring that no Catbaloganon learner is left behind. A survey was conducted. Those with the capacity to stage online distance learning are encouraged to do so, thus maximizing every opportunity to make distance learning modalities really work this trying time. The complementary distance learning modalities are maximally enforced as CID trained 267 radio and TV anchors who prepared radio and TV lesson scripts and organized recording teacher talents to do the broadcast. Teams for quality assurance were likewise organized, spearheaded by the education program supervisors by learning area, focusing on editing the content and the pedagogy employed, while radio, TV, technical working group looked into the audio and the visual aspects. Remembering the child is the second guiding principle. DepEd, as a learner-centered institution, designs all the policy guidelines of the K-12 curriculum. We consider learner-centeredness as an approach to education where we put the needs and interests of the learners at the center of the teaching learning process. Having all mechanisms in place, with the goal that no Catbaloganon learner shall be left behind, isn't putting us to rest on our laurels, because a number of bold challenges are underway. Existing literature describes some of the tasks typically performed by parents whose children are involved in K-12 distance learning. Table on the screen summarizes what literature and research has on the tasks parents perform in these school settings. In general, parents help students to organize their work, guide them through schoolwork, and motivate them to make progress. While the roles are real, they are hampered due to the challenges that parents experience. Thus, the office established support mechanisms to address these challenges and to sustain equilibrium of the school parent community partnership. While parents generally have a strong will to help their children academically, it cannot be denied that there are those with less education or even no education at all. Tutor Ko Hinanay, Tutor Ko Hitatay was launched to capacitate and guide the parents on their roles as molders of their children's character and values, trainers in doing basic household chores and other skill-laden tasks while they can't act as academic tutors. We prepared recorded video, audio acted out by select parents, consistently played over the radio and TV as part of our parents' continuing education. For other parents, including those who are working, Praise K Project is an intervention designed for the kindergarten learners where a monthly interfacing happens between the parents and the kindergarten teachers to properly instruct them on how to guide and teach the lessons for the month. Community and SK volunteers were also organized in every school. These volunteers move around the community to assist the learners on academic concerns, particularly on literacy and numeracy skills, especially those whose parents are incapable to do so. Home visitation is also done by teacher advisors and monitors in order to check the progress of the learners under their care and provide appropriate learning intervention accordingly. Barangay mentoring hubs are likewise put up in strategic areas where parents or learners are gathered in limited number, observing all health protocols in order to address their concerns. Video and audio tutorial lessons are also produced, uploaded, and programmed in the tablets donated by the city government, and these are intended for slow learners and those at risk of failing and whose parents have no capacity. For the learners with special needs, Parents Teaching Guide or PTG are prepared, where parents are oriented on the proper ways and strategies to manage the teaching learning process of their children, with follow-through sessions done by the SPED teachers. Virtual tutors are organized group of teacher specialists intended for the junior high school and the senior high school learners to help them tackle the difficult competencies which other parents can't cater. And program partnership with other agencies and organizations like the Duly Tupad program, in which the CSWD hired tutors, and deployed to the barangays in order to assist the parents and learners needing academic support. For challenges on limited resources among schools and families, the social mobilization and networking of SGOD support schools through Adapt a School program in looking for partners to address the needs of the schools that are beyond their school MOOE's capacity. With the 8 secondary schools serving the 57 barangays of Catbalogan, challenge on distance is paramount, especially in the distribution and retrieval of modules. While working out for the access for next school year, this concern is addressed through the Catbalogan Bayanihans project, in which the school's division office structured barangay-based assignments of teachers to look into the needs of the learners in their respective area. And for health-related concerns, these are addressed through the implementation of OIC-SDS program with the school-based feeding program, the National Drug Education Program, the Adolescents Reproductive Health Education, WASH in Schools program, and the medical, nursing, and dental services. The third principle is understand our shared responsibilities. School-based management highlights shared governance as a strategy to improve education by transferring significant decision-making authority down to the schools. In the distance learning delivery modalities, SDO Catbalogan designed the roles and responsibilities of the actors, including the parents, in order to clearly define the expectations from each one, which we dubbed as Catbalogan learning delivery processes. May I quickly run you through our established processes. Each big process has sub-processes which embed the shared responsibilities of each one, including the parents and the wider school community. This starts from the first big process of development of modules, recorded audio and video lessons, to the reproduction phase, disinfection, and delivery of modules and reflection sheets to schools. Then, the assignment of teachers as class advisors and monitors in barangays where they reside. Then, the distribution of modules and reflection sheets, which now involves the participation of parents and other community volunteers. We have also special processes on the implementation and adoption of radio clase or radio-based instruction, where parents, community leaders, and volunteers play very important roles. The teleclase or the television-based instruction, which also demands special participation of parents and community leaders and volunteers to ensure that all learners access and use them to accomplish their printed modules. Then, in the monitoring of learners, which parents and community play a great role to ensure that learners are on task during their RBI and TBI schedules. And finally, the assessment, where parents' role are also very important in order to help every learner successfully beat the challenges of the pandemic that affects their studies. The fourth principle is seek common ground. The common ground on distance learning modalities is clearly spotted by each actor, including parents, as we did roll out of the processes through series of capacity building interventions in limited face-to-face Catbalogan talk shows, virtual and recorded episodes in radio, TV, Facebook page, group chats, and offline. One concrete manifestation of the shared responsibility poured out on the common ground identified are the programs and projects we forge with our partners to reinforce and address the challenges experienced by them in the distance learning modality, as shown in the slides. And the fifth principle completes and defines the true essence of the strong partnerships. Together, we work towards common goals. This is instilled in the hearts, heads, and hands of every member of the team, where all mechanisms must move and orchestrated toward the common goals. To continually ensure that everything is on track, monitoring and evaluation, quality assurance, assessment, and technical assistance mechanisms are also established. In our case, we capture everything through the Pandemilta, where issues and concerns in the field are continually elevated to the school's division office for on-time provision of technical assistance and reinforced by the monthly deployment of DF-TACT with 10 composite teams, all for TA provision to the field. These mechanisms are interplayed by the internal actors of SDO Catbalogan Bayanihan's, capturing feedback from external actors that includes parents and community, and with its periodic findings and results, they enrich the inputs in reviewing the systems for continuous improvement. The collective effort of the team is gearing toward our short-term goals of bringing all school age to school, ensuring their regular attendance in answering their modules, accessing the printed modules, RBI and TBI lessons, demonstrating literacy and numeracy skills, manifesting mastery of the lessons or competencies, and ensuring that no Catbaloganon learner is left behind. All of these are gearing to improving the key performance indicators of the schools and the school's division office. In closing, may I highlight that parents know their children more than any teacher does, while teachers know how to effectively deliver instructions while the community supports both. If what they know will be combined and with the right mix of community support, then educating the children amidst this pandemic can surely succeed. The skills parents, teachers, and community people have a common purpose. That is, to support the continuous learning of the children amid the pandemic. This is the very foundation of a stronger home, school, and community partnership. However, we shall always remember that though how strong the partnerships are, the one above is the strongest partner. He said in John chapter 15, verses 4 to 5, "Abide in me, and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit by itself unless it abides in the vine, neither can you unless you abide in me. I am the vine, you are the branches. Whoever abides in me and I in him, It is that bears much fruit. For apart from me, you can do nothing. Thank you so much. This is Marilyn B. OIC-SDS of Catbalogan City Division Region 8, Bungkaras, Edu, Catbalogan.
Thank you so much, Dr. Marilyn B. for sharing the working principles, best practices, and possible strategies that our teachers can initiate and adapt as we create a culture of collaborative family engagement. Just keep on sharing your insights and learning here on DepEd Teaches comment section. Don't forget to use the hashtag I support DepEd Teaches, and hashtag DepEd Teaches episode 19.
All right, so some reminders. So for episodes 19 to 20, we only have a single registration. You see the on the screen right now, the link. Don't forget to register. And we'll have the evaluation on episode 22. So for you to receive your certificates of appearance and participation, you must pass the evaluation. You can rewatch all episodes on our official Facebook page, DepEd Teaches. So this wraps up the first entry under the theme Community Linkages and Teacher Development. We hope you've been inspired to reflect on your current practices and find ways on how you can improve your working relationship with our parents with the end goal in mind to help learners succeed.
Okay, before we end, tomorrow is a national holiday. That's why we advance our episode for this week today, Wednesday. And we greet our Muslim brothers and sisters a joyous, blessed, and safe celebration of Idil al-Fitr. On behalf of the curriculum and instruction strand, it has always been that our children are our priority. So change is reality and collaboration is the strategy. Just like here in DepEd Teaches, we are doing this for the best interest of our children. For our mission is empowering teachers, enabling learners. See us again next week and a pleasant afternoon, everyone.